My name is Adam Dow. I run the Dow Realty Group in Wolfboro, New Hampshire, but we have a team all over the state of New Hampshire. I did grow up here in Wolfboro. My family on my father's side has been in the area for 9 generations. My grandparents had bought a place on an island in the 60s, so that's what brought my mother to the area. They spent summers on the lake and just fell in love with it, and then met my father. She wanted to be here. She wanted the quality of life. She wanted the little less hustle and bustle. So having the island place then was fantastic. I didn't realize how great of an area this was until I was a little older and had moved away and gone to business school. But I met Becky, my wife, who's now our director of ops. And she said to me, not everyone grew up with that big lake in their backyard. It is kind of a cool thing to raise kids, and so we moved back to Wolfboro to start a family. I took it for granted growing up, being able to go on the boat. The best training that I had when I first got into the business was my grandfather's 13-foot Boston whaler, and I spent hours and hours and hours just driving around Lake Winnipesaukee, knowing the ins and outs of the little coves, knowing how to navigate the buoys and stuff like that. So I didn't know if when I fast forwarded 20 years that I'd have corporate CEOs asking me about the lake and the nuances of the wind direction and sunsets and things like that. So it's pretty cool that such a good childhood translated into such a good business later. I had that in Wolfboro, and as I started to expand, I realized I didn't have that in some of the towns that I'm licensed to sell in, but I didn't feel like I was the right person to sell in. So I started creating a team. It was better because I could make sure that there was a little bit more standard around the process. Maybe they've gone to the schools, or they've been in the area for a long time. They're part of the charity scene. They volunteer in the community. We call them area experts. Like they're ambassadors for the places that they live in. They're basically selling something that they chose already. They love the area, so they're just saying things that are reasons why they live there.
My family, especially on my dad's side, has very deep roots in the Lakes Region area. Goes back 150 years plus, especially in Meredith, Moultonboro, and Sandwich. We actually, last year, I sold one of the original Ambrose homesteads that dates back to the early 1900s, so that was really cool.
My family had a summer place in Moultonboro, and we loved coming to the lake. We spent summers here. I went to Brewster Academy. My husband and I moved up here 22 years ago. We love the community. We love the pace of being in a smaller town. The fact that people really care about being here and contribute to their community is a real reason why we love it here. Not only do I live in the area, but I know the towns surrounding the Lakes region. I know the communities, what makes them special, and we try to match up people for the right places. So to work with me, you not only get me, you get the whole Dow team, which is really a benefit because you've got several people with their own expertise, whether it's on negotiating or on area attractions or pricing, all of those features and different components, you have the benefit of the team. So I think that's a real good reason to work with the Dow Group.
Yeah, so our admin team really works to help do every little task, all the 100 different tasks that the agent needs to do to sell the house. Everything behind the scenes that we can possibly do, making the brochures, anything with preparing paperwork, helping with appointments, anything behind the scenes that can give the agent more time, make them more available, just take the pressure off of them.
So we're selling real estate, obviously, but we're also selling the lifestyle here, which is a huge component of why people want to be here, because that's why we live here. So a big part of it is really educating buyers on why we live here and what's important about the area, the different towns, the differences, different areas of water quality if they're buying on the lake, the school systems, things of that nature. So as a seller, the advantages to working with the Dow Realty Group are multifaceted. Our package in terms of how we present the property is really top tier. I think it's the best in my opinion. It's always professional photography, and it shows the property in its best light because we have seconds sometimes to grab people online or they move on to the next property. So that's critically important.
I am Jess Pesnola. I'm the Dow Realty Group's area expert for the White Mountains region. I grew up on the slopes of New Hampshire. I was a racer and was always up here. I made the move about 5 years ago to be here full time, and I love that I have all the hiking and skiing in my backyard, and I love to sell that lifestyle to my clients. So I say that I cover ski country, so I go as far as the Conway, Cranmore area. I will cover Sunapee, I'll cover Loon, Cannon, really all of the ski resorts in the White Mountains. Dow is really big into having an area expert. We think it's important to have someone that lives and plays in the area. So I like to be able to tell people where to ski and hike, because I love it, so I want to share that with them. So the majority of my buyers are from out of state, looking for a second home up in the White Mountains. I joke that I grew up in Massachusetts and I'd rather drive an hour up here than 10 minutes back home, and I share that with my clients.
I'm actually a sixth-generation Portsmouth native, so it's awesome to be able to live in a hometown, that I know so well and know the best places to watch fireworks and to picnic and to basically do anything. So I love sharing that with people who are considering moving to our town. This summer, the summer of 2021, I was able to work with a seller in what turned out to be a historic sale. We sold a 1957 2,000 square foot ranch for $4.4 million. Now, this sale broke previous sales records for price paid per square foot. The big thing was, not being so proud to think that I understood what the price would be, and instead listening to my client as well, who had an understanding of the value of the property she had, and working together, we were able to go out and get her asking price.
So I'm Kevin Calhoun with the Dow Realty Group. I cover the Seacoast area, Stratford County, and find my home in Dover. What I like about the Dow Group is that it allows me to leverage my skills in my neighborhood, my community, and my county to help people with real estate. So whether it be buying, selling, knowing the right plumber, knowing the right electrician, knowing where to get your car service, where the great restaurants are. People don't always view that as the job of a real estate agent, but it comes in very handy when folks are moving in from out of town, when folks are moving from one town to the next. It all just boils down to helping them make the right decision.
There are more and more folks looking at New Hampshire. Even pre-COVID, we had folks that are looking for second homes to enjoy the natural beauty, the quieter pace, the fact that there's no sales tax, that there's no state income tax. There are lots of reasons why New Hampshire is really special. We have the mountains, we have the ocean, we're close to Boston. There's a lot of really nice benefits to being in New Hampshire. So people have found us. We're on the map.